Good Saturday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. Hopefully, one has had a fantastic Saturday. I am your meteorologist, Joe Peterson, and let's go on and talk about the weather for your Saturday evening going into your future. Now, what are we going to talk about tonight? First off, obviously the heat wave that is moving through, the dangerous heat, the excessive heat warnings, all of that stuff we're going to talk about. We're also going to talk about some other stuff like a cool down that could potentially happen as we get into next weekend. Yes, a potential cool down as we get into next weekend. So we're going to talk about that. And then after that, pretty much, for the most part, that's pretty much everything. There's not too much really going on. That's really going on right now. So honestly, for now, I honestly would just say, just stick around for that. Also, we will be changing up the intros a little bit, so I won't have to say the intro twice. I'll just have the recorded audience go on. So this will probably be one of the last nights, unless I forget to do it one time, that I have to say the intro twice. But for now, hopefully this should be the last one, unless I forget. If you have not hit the like button or the subscribe button yet, make sure you go and do so. Hit the share button as well. Share with all the people that you know. We're at 547 subscribers, trying to get to 600. We are only three subscribers away from the halfway point of 550, and we are 53 away from the main goal of 600. So, we're close to the midway point, but that long-term goal is still out there. So let's go on and get there. Do not let up on sharing it, hitting the like button as well. Remember to keep on doing that, and to hit the subscribe button again. That's a one-time thing. So you should not. You should only have to hit the subscribe button once, and that's it. But let's go on now and talk with the recorded audience and see what they have to say for tonight. Good Saturday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. Hopefully, one has had a fantastic Saturday. I am your meteorologist, Joe Peterson. Let's go on and talk about the weather for your Saturday evening going into your future. Now, looking at the radar right now, there is right now nothing going on. Not really a thing going on right now throughout the entire state of South Carolina. But if we go on and scroll our way out, let's see what's going on throughout the entire U.S. We do have some rainfall going on, obviously, down here in Mississippi, Alabama, going into Louisiana and Texas. We also do have some rainfall going on in Missouri, Iowa, Illinois, into Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, as well as New York. Rainfall also going on over here in South Dakota, Nebraska, Montana, Oregon, Nevada, going into California. Cloud cover for tonight. Overall, it's looking mainly clear right now. You do have some cloud cover that's over there, like near the North Myrtle Beach region, but other than that, everyone else looks mainly clear for now. Cloud cover as we move into tonight, you can see that cloud cover will mainly be again, you can see the cloud cover that we were looking on over there near North Myrtle Beach. It kind of expands its way more into Horry County by the time we get into later tonight. But for everybody else, that cloud cover kind of just moves out the way, while the Horry County, Williamsburg County, Georgetown County region gets themselves some cloud cover as we move through. Now, this is 7 o'clock in the morning, and there possibly will be some patchy fog going on as well. So patchy fog is possible as we move through tonight and into tomorrow morning. But other than that, cloud cover is not really going to be that huge of a deal as we move into tomorrow. Current temperature right now, 89 in Columbia as well as 88 in Orangeburg, 86 in Somerville as well as 85 in Georgetown, 85 in Murrells Inlet as well as 84 in Myrtle Beach, 85 in Conway as well as 88 in Florence and Bennettsville, 89 inside of Lancaster as well as 85 in Spartanburg, or 88. I believe that is inside of Spartanburg, 89 in Gaffney as well as 83 in York, 88 in Rock Hill, and 85 in Greenville. We also have 87 in Clemson, and even 85 down there in downtown Charleston, and 86 in Hilton Head and Beaufort. Low temperatures for tonight, 75 in Greenville as well as 75 in Spartanburg, 77 in Rock Hill as well as 76 in Winsboro, 79 in Columbia, 79 and even in Sumter, 77 in Moncks Corner, and 82 in Charleston, 81 in Myrtle Beach as well as 78 in Georgetown, 80 in Hilton Head Island, as well as 77 in Aiken and Barnwell. Moving into our precipitation, 100th of an inch to a 10th of an inch for places up there. Like Chiraw, for example, is a place that could potentially receive that. Now, again, this is just what is forecasted for now. Obviously, these probably will not be in the exact spots that you see it in right now. So, overall, I honestly would just say look at the region more than just the individual place. But that's just what's currently there, especially in a setup like this. Now, if it was like a tropical storm or hurricane, or something like that, then maybe, we could look at exact places. But for right now, obviously, with these summer storms, they're unpredictable. And you really just don't know if they're going to develop or not. But as we even go up there toward like the border, for example, near South Carolina, Georgia, North Carolina, 100th of an inch all the way up to maybe even a half an inch is possible as we go all the way up there as well. That's just to like the north and west of Greenville. But again, might not be in that exact spot. As we go into the SPC outlook, so far, from what I've seen, there has not been an update yet. Yes, no update yet. So this is still our severe weather outlook for tonight. Again, no severe weather is expected, but thunderstorms is in the question as we go into like Florence, going into Myrtle Beach, going into Rock Hill, Greenville, Spartanburg, Anderson's included in there, and even going into like Sumter as well in Georgetown. As you move into tomorrow, again, that thunderstorm risk moves down a little bit. Again, that includes most of, or pretty much all of the PD, all of the Grand Strand, pretty much most of the Midlands, except for that western part. The Tri-County region going into the upstate as well, for the most part, going into tomorrow. And then Monday comes along and the entire state is included inside of a thunderstorm risk. Again, no excessive rainfall. No excessive rainfall. No severe weather is expected for now, but thunderstorms are there. Now for excessive rainfall, you can see that we actually do have a chance for excessive rainfall. This is for day 4, Tuesday going into Wednesday. There is actually a threat for some excessive rainfall. Again, it's mainly just minor flooding that goes for like Aiken going into Orangeburg, going into Somerville, Charleston, going into Hilton Head Island as well. Also like Walterboro's included, St. George is included, Hampton's included, Blackville's included, same thing with Bamberg as well. And so those are just some regions that has that threat for some potential minor flooding. Again, that's on Tuesday going into Wednesday. Tuesday at 9 a.m. to Wednesday at 9 a.m. So that's it for our excessive rainfall. So let's look at what's going on for the model. So we're going to look at this first. This starts off at 9 p.m. And as we go in and push this forward, you can see overall, it has shower activity. This is what they were anticipating for at 8 o'clock p.m. of what probably would happen at 11. And you can see, obviously, it's not, exact. Even by the time we get to around 9 p.m., still shows some shower and downpour activity when there's not a whole lot going on still. But for the most part, as we move all the way past around 12 a.m., you're still not seeing any sort of precipitation as we move into around like 1 p.m. You can see there's absolutely nothing going on. That will change, though, obviously, once we get to around 2 to 3 p.m. Look at this scattered shower and thunderstorm activity that will impact the state. Even by the time we get to around 4 to 5, maybe even 6 to 7 p.m. as well, shower thunderstorm activity still going on. By the time we get to 9 p.m., we definitely could still have some shower activity going on as we move through. Now, once we get to 12 o'clock in the morning on Monday, that still is showing some precipitation there, but continuing this even into like the 4 a.m. range, going to even like the 7 a.m. range, still have that rainfall going on. Again, it's mainly just, shower activity. You're not really seeing too much in terms of downpours or thunderstorms, but it is there that we may have to watch for on Monday morning. But then Monday afternoon comes in, and obviously we start the cycle all over again pretty much. So for the most part, for what I'm seeing, is that, we're going to start off tonight, going into tomorrow dry, at least mostly dry, as some models still show that we could potentially still have some rainfall, even though from what you're looking at right here, nothing going on right now. Even if we go into the radar right here, you're not seeing a single thing at all. So for the most part, like I said, we're going to start off mostly dry as we go through tonight and tomorrow morning. But as we get into tomorrow afternoon, obviously, we'll have that shower and thunderstorm activity kind of more scattered. And then as we move through the nighttime, tomorrow night, we actually will have some isolated shower activity that will still be left over, and then continuing on going into Monday, the cycle just repeats pretty much. So let's go into the long-term future. So we're going to start off here. This at 2 p.m. on July 28th. You can see there actually it will be a little low pressure that forms over South Carolina. That will be around July 28th on that day. But that will kind of move its way to the south and west into Georgia, but it will still bring us some rainfall again. That's July 28th, obviously Monday. And that's the day that we definitely will start to see a lot more of that active weather come into fruition as we go into Monday, starting off our week, but continuing through to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I mean, you're just seeing just a whole lot more rain, and this is Saturday right here. You're seeing actually, heavy rainfall going through, and you can see the low pressure here. This actually right here is a cold front. And one thing that I will say is that if you move into temperature anomalies, you can easily spot it. Like here, August the 1st at 2 p.m., you can easily spot where the cold front is, and it will make its way. And we actually will have some cooler than average temperatures as we move into next weekend. I mentioned that at the beginning for the live audience. But we will have a cool down as we move into next weekend. And that cool down will stay for a little bit. But once you get to around like August the 5th, that's when it starts to really just wear off, and we get back to those hot conditions again. But something just to look at. You can even see, for example, here are the high temperatures right here for Thursday. High temperatures all the way still up in those 90s, high 90s to maybe even mid 90s. Some low 90s, but you're not really seeing too many 80s. As we move into Friday, though, you can see just the huge difference. High temperatures only getting into like the mid to low 90s, and then some even just staying in those high 80s. So there will be a little bit of a cool down again as we move into Friday going into the weekend, but we still have this heat to still watch out for, this dangerous heat that we're still looking out for now. And if you go on and just look back at some of these temperatures right here that we're still looking at, I mean, you have temperatures still in that 100-degree range, and then maybe even tomorrow. Tomorrow going into Monday probably will be the two hottest days, in my opinion. I think Sunday and Monday will probably be the two hottest days, where you will actually have actual temperatures, potentially up to 105 degrees. You can see up there, I believe this is near Spartanburg right here, near like 105 potentially. Now, again, this is a low resolution model, but if you want to see one that's actually more accurate and more short term, you can go to this one right here, and you can see, 103. Doesn't show like 105, like in Spartanburg, but for the most part, it gets the gist. 101, 102, and for the most part, like I said, everyone will be just north of 100 potentially as we move into tomorrow and Monday. But that's just what I wanted to show there. But if you continue to move this forward even more, like I said, that will end obviously once we get to Friday. You can see we'll have these hot temperatures continuing through even on, again, this is Monday right here. And, it'll still be hot as we get into Tuesday and Wednesday. Don't get me wrong. We still will have hot temperatures, but it probably will not be as hot as Sunday and Monday will be for now. Now, we'll see if they issue any sort of other excessive heat watches, but the warnings are already in effect. And even speaking of, if you go on and check down here into South Carolina, we actually still do have excessive heat warnings out. Again, that's for the National Weather Service of Wilmington area, and then also the National Weather Service of Charleston area. So that's like Darlington going into Florence, going to King Street, Conway, Myrtle Beach, Georgetown. And then as we continue on over here, over towards Beaufort, Hilton Head Island, Somerville, Walterboro, Moncks Corner, Charleston, all these places have extreme heat warnings, and that's, obviously those temperatures potentially being all the way up to around 115 degrees. I know that's the criteria for Charleston, but for Wilmington, I believe, which I'm going to have to go up here real quick. For Wilmington, I believe the criteria for them is around close to the same, around like 114, 112. That's Raleigh right there. Wilmington around 114. So I think it's around like 110 for Wilmington, but still 114, 115 for both regions as well. And heat advisory, so no excessive heat warnings, but it still will be hot nonetheless over here for like the National Weather Service, the Columbia region, which that's again going through Columbia, going through Camden, going through even like Aiken, and the same thing for the Greenville, Spartanburg region as well, where excessive heat warnings are there. So for the most part, like again, like I've been saying this entire time, it's still going to be hot no matter where you are. And that's why you need to be taking this heat seriously. I mean, they've already been talking about heat strokes, heat exhaustion, all that stuff, and that if you don't have to go outside, you know, and you don't have anything to do outside, or anything like that, they just recommend that you do just stay inside so you can stay out of the heat as much as possible. But that's all I just wanted to say about the heat. Going back to the models though, and just precipitation wise though, because that's where we ended off. Just we will have this little area that we're watching for right there by maybe around August the 3rd as it moves its way out. But it kind of just makes its way over South Carolina, and then it just turns into some tropical low, and it kind of just moves its way out of there. So, something to monitor, but nothing that, you should be nervous about or anything like that. And then just regular South Carolina weather, just normal thunderstorm activity. Nothing else really in terms of like major storm systems or anything like that I'm looking at. So that's it for our long-term future. Let's go on now and talk about the tropics, which you can see here. Tropical cyclone activity is not expected during the next 7 days. But one thing that I will say, if you go on and look over here, this is from, this is a model right here that shows the low pressure sensor that it's pretty much showing throughout, all the way from the main development region on, also over here inside the Gulf, and then also over here along the Atlantic coast as well. Now, if you continue to push this forward, you can see that there is low pressures forming. As we start off down here, now that's going into Tuesday, and it has a low pressure forming. And just continuing to move it forward, you can see that it just a whole clump of it starts to form, and then it kind of just makes its way over into, again, that Lesser Antilles region, going into the Dominican Republic region, and then Puerto Rico going near Cuba as well. And then also over here near the Atlantic coast, you also will have low pressures trying to form there. Again, that's the one that I was just looking at, or the one that we were just looking at together. As it moved its way off of the coast, as that storm system moved its way off the coast next weekend, that will also have the chance to become a little system as well. But the main one that I'm looking at is this one down here as it moves its way through. Now, again, way too far out. It's not even being talked about right now, really, except for people that watch for it, and obviously I'm one of them, and some other people as well. But for the most part, they're still not looking at anything over there at the National Hurricane Center, so I'm not going to say too much on that. The crazy score, we're at a 78. We are at a 78 for tonight inside the severe category. Not because, again, of thunderstorms, but because of the heat, dangerous conditions. There's going to be no relief at all tonight. Just at all. No relief at all. And with those temperatures being, again, in those 80s, especially near the coastal regions, just please make sure that you are inside of you're inside of somewhere that's, AC cooled, especially, I know that most people are, but, you never know. You never know if somebody could just be doing something at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning just outside for some reason, and they just go out and exercise. Because, I know some people do, but just make sure that you are still staying hydrated, even if you are out there that late, and you are doing stuff, rather it be working out or rather it be you just going to go to work or something like that, like early, like 4 or 5, even though tomorrow would be Sunday, so I guess actually no one would have work. But still, just make sure that you are staying hydrated, though, if you are doing stuff like late tonight, because temperature is still in the 80s at nighttime. That's still nothing that you want to mess around with, and that's why the crazy score went all the way up to 78, went all the way up to 78, just because of that heat as we move through. But that's pretty much it in terms of the crazy score, so let's go on now and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say for tonight. Starting off, let me go on and move on over here real quick. Mr. Anthony says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you as well. Same thing with Mr. Chris, who says, good evening, everyone from Month Corner. It's hot. Remember to stay hydrated and drink water. And if not already, please hit the like button and subscribe button to the channel and share it. That's, great point. We've had 18 people tune in and we only have 7 likes. 18 people tuning in and we only have 7 likes. So if you have not hit the like button already, make sure you're going to do so. And also hit the subscribe button. Again, we're at 547, which I haven't checked yet, but 547 last time that I checked. So let's go on and get high. My Nana says, good evening, Jay. Good evening to you. Trill says, greetings, everyone. Oh, the heat is mean. It is. I mean, like I was talking about, even during the nighttime hours, even when I said that people go to work on Sundays, that heat will still be going on as we move through, even as we go through the nighttime hours as well in the 80s, and then maybe even someone potentially could get potentially even a mid-80 or close to a mid-80 near the coastal regions. Just would not be surprised one bit. Would not be surprised at all. And then Mr. Chris says, what's the heat index is going to be? Around like 115, 116 as you move into tomorrow and Monday during the day. And then it will slowly kind of make its way down. But around 115, 116. But that's it for the chat. So let's go on now and talk about the 3 locations outside of South Carolina, that being San Antonio, Raleigh, and Philadelphia. And then also Duncan as well, 4 locations. Starting off with San Antonio first. Low temperatures tonight at 77, high temperatures tomorrow at 95, and low temperatures tomorrow night at 78. There is no precipitation expected tonight or tomorrow night, but a slight chance of showers tomorrow. In terms of severe weather, there is indeed no threat for any sort of severe weather. That was pretty much, again, was expected. You've been kind of in just this period where there's just been no severe weather. But in terms of excessive rainfall, you have no risk there either. Raleigh being the next location, low temperatures tonight 78, high temperatures tomorrow at 102, and low temperatures tomorrow night at 80. So again, just some more, evidence that those temperatures, even not even near the coastal regions, will move their way more inland as well. No precipitation tonight or tomorrow night, but a slight chance of thunderstorms tomorrow. In terms of excessive rainfall, there is no excessive rainfall that is expected as you move through all the way from Saturday going into at least that Wednesday/Thursday time frame. And then in terms of severe weather, there is indeed no threat for tonight, but tomorrow you do have a chance for some isolated damaging wind gusts of up to 60 miles per hour tomorrow. Philadelphia being the third one, with low temperatures tonight 72, high temperatures tomorrow at 84, and low temperatures tomorrow night at 74. There is showers are likely tonight, and thunderstorms are expected as you move into tomorrow, and then tomorrow night showers are also likely as well. And then also tomorrow isolated severe wind gusts of up to 60 miles per hour. Same thing like for Raleigh, same thing for Philadelphia as well. And then in terms of excessive rainfall, Philadelphia pretty much has a chance for excessive rainfall, at least for a minor threat, for Wednesday of next week going into tonight. But tomorrow, you actually do have a slight chance for some excessive rainfall, so that is scattered flash flooding. And then moving on over here towards Duncan, the last one, with low temperatures tonight 76, high temperatures tomorrow at 96, and low temperatures tomorrow night at 77. No precipitation expected tonight or tomorrow. And then in terms of excessive rainfall and severe weather, none is expected. So that's it for those 4 locations. Again, those are the 4 locations that we talk about outside of South Carolina. So what's going on throughout the entire U.S. weather news-wise? Dangerous prolonged heat is ongoing in the Mid-South and the Mid-Mississippi Valley, and heat expands into the Northeast for a brief period of time, as we went through earlier today. Widely scattered instances of flash flooding due to heavy rainfall is occurring from northeast Kansas to much of Indiana. Scattered strong to severe thunderstorms are possible across portions of New England, the northern Mid-Atlantic, and North Dakota as well. So The main thing, obviously, being the heat, though. The heat is probably the main concern as we move through pretty much most of the week, to be honest. So that's going to wrap up this update again. If you have not hit the like button yet or the subscribe button, make sure you go and do so. Hit the share button as well. Share with all the people that you know. We're at 547 subscribers, trying to get to 600. And then we only need 3 more until we get to that halfway mark. So let's go on and get there. I will be back tomorrow morning with your Sunday morning forecast update. Everyone have a fantastic rest of your Saturday.